That, you mentioned agriculture products, and some of that seems to have happened in the US deal.
Also.
Yes. and therefore, the concern is that we have compromised on that front. Some of these items, whether you're looking at sorghum, soya bean, whatever it is, has there been any...
Soya bean, we have not compromised. Soya bean cannot come.
Oil in some sense.
Soya bean oil, we are one of the largest importers in the world.
Yeah, so if you take a look at these products, have we compromised in any way?
Not at all. Raj, we have been importing soya bean oil from the time of the Congress and government.
Right.
2004.
And why didn't we...
importing large quantities. And we've only given a quota in soya bean oil. Right. But we've not opened it for soya bean.
Right.
The soya bean meal is not allowed to be imported. It's not opened up.
Right.
So wherever there are sensitivities, there's no opening up.
So you're saying on agriculture we have made no compromises?
Absolutely not. It's a win-win. There are areas where we need to import.
The fruits, these things...
See, there are fruits which we import.
Right.
We import from America even today.
But indirectly or something like that?
No, even directly.
Right.
Directly we are importing several fruits from America. So giving a concession there is a zero-sum game. It only helps to get better quality apples than the one we get from Turkey, for example, which in any case many Indians don't want to eat.
Right.
So I think our approach is where India needs a certain thing, we welcome it, whether it's agriculture, whether it's industrial goods, whether it's ICT, whether it's technology goods. So where I gave a quota on soybean oil, I'm actually doing a service for the people, the consumers, because now there's more options.
Not on maize, no, they were looking for...
No, absolutely no compromise on maize.
Dairy.
Absolutely no compromise on dairy. Absolutely no compromise on GM products. Absolutely no compromise on cereals like rice and wheat. Absolutely no compromise on sugar. Absolutely no compromise on a variety of products which are often found sensitive in the Indian context. Today I have laid out a whole set of products. I'll share with you also.
Fine, you went through that in the press conference. But
it's absolutely a win-win for India.
This is something that there has already been, in some senses, some sort of criticism about, and I'm going to mention this to you, that India has agreed to eliminate or reduce MFN's tariffs on all US industrial goods. While the US has not reduced MFN tariffs at only and have left only reciprocal tariffs. Why was India willing to make permanent tariff concessions in exchange for what Washington itself describes as conditional and reversible review?
Two things. First of all, we have not removed tariffs on all industrial goods to zero. Some are calibrated over a period of time. Some there are tariff rate quotas. And where we have no sensitivity, where we need it, like NVIDIA chips or ICT products in AI, in quantum computing, I need those to develop my economy. So it's a very calibrated, well-thought approach, item to item. Point one. Point two, the reciprocal tariffs are for real. The whole world has acknowledged that. The whole world has negotiated against reciprocal tariffs. So have we. Yet, we have agreed with the United States that should the reciprocal tariffs be taken off for everybody, then we would have an opportunity to recalibrate our concessions also. Or we would have an opportunity to get further concessions from the US. So it's not as if India has removed the MFN tariffs against a reciprocal tariff which is temporary. It is for real. If there is a change in reciprocal tariffs, there will be a corresponding change in our opening up. So it's a very well understood and a very balanced relationship that we have created. And I must say the American negotiators are very fair. It was a pleasure negotiating with America. And I did not face any difficulty in terms of ensuring fairness on any issue whatsoever.
What changed actually? Because for almost 6 months there was rancor between us, there was a lot of other issues. What finally turned the corner for us to, on New Year's, 2026, to move so rapidly and sign?
No, there never was rancor. We have the best of relations with all my counterparts and colleagues over there. We are working with the US on so many fronts, strategic fronts, critical minerals, defense partnership, technology partnership, on AI. So we have a very multifaceted, multi-dimensional relationship. President Trump and Prime Minister Modi are the best of friends. There has never been a rancor in this relationship.
But there was a feeling that it had been already ready, but for some reason it kept getting postponed.
These
Was
are
there any
feelings that were there in the market, but may not necessarily be true.
Okay, let's take a look at another aspect, which is our commitment to buy $500 billion worth of goods from the U.S. Our current trade between India and U.S. is about $212 billion. We take services and goods together. How are you planning to make this up in terms of $500 billion? There is a time frame that you mentioned, 5 years. But what are we going to do this? And would we be penalized if we don't sort of meet up to these standards?
See, if you see the joint statement also, we intend to purchase $500 billion in the next 5 years. And we've done a very careful analysis. The products that we have found United States of America most competitive in, where they have a competitive advantage with other nations. Even today, as we speak, we buy $300 billion, or we import $300 billion of those products from around the world today. And these are products which are growing very rapidly. For example, on ICT products, the growth of import, or electronic products, growth of import and imports of these products in some years is as high as 20%. Our estimate is that in the next 5 years, we will need to import about $2 trillion of energy products, that's crude oil, LPG, LNG, precious metals, ICT products used in AI, in quantum computing, the semiconductors, the chips of NVIDIA, for example, coking coal or thermal coal that we have to import for shortages in coking coal reserves in India. We don't have much coking coal in India. We import from Indonesia, from other countries. Now, I see no reason why in that $2 trillion import pie, Indian importers won't have an advantage if they import from the US. Aircraft alone, aeroplanes, spare parts and engines of aircraft alone, we will require anywhere between 80 and 90 billion dollars in the next 5 years, could even cross $100 billion. Just aircraft alone.
That's Boeing jets and others. That
Boeing, GE engines,
right,
and the spare parts associated with that. Only with that ecosystem of aviation, nearly $100 billion, give or take $10, $15 billion. Now, in that situation, my approach is very simple. For these set of products which I have to buy in any case, the more the merrier. I would like there to be a competition amongst suppliers in the world so that India gets the best deal. And that is good for Indian consumers, that's good for the Indian economy, and will spur economic growth in India. So I think it's very simple, elementary logic, and American goods are very high quality. We'll welcome them in India. I think it's a great partnership where we get an opportunity to sell labor-oriented products or products made by our farmers and fishermen in large volumes and quantities and value, and they get to sell to India more and more planes, more and more engines, more and more ICT products and high-tech products which America is great at. So that's exactly what Prime Minister Modi said, that when you make America great, when you make India great, the mega plus mega is equal to mega.
But take a look at what you said in terms of aircraft, and you mentioned GE engines. In the past, America would never recognize our defense deals with them as part of trade. They would always say our deficit is $40 billion, even if we had bought some equipment from that. Does this also include now defense equipment in terms of the numbers that we would calculate for trade?
We haven't got down to that level of specifics, but I can assure you that there's unlimited potential on both sides. I would urge both our Indian exporters and our friends in America who are in the export business of all of these products to take this opportunity, grab this opportunity of this wonderful relation between our leaders, of the wonderful relation between our people. After all, the 4.5 million or 5 million Indians living in America are a living bridge between the two nations.